Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and this is an exciting speed build because this is the Goths' new family home, and if you haven't seen the first Let's Play, it's very fun. I'm just gonna say that I love it, and I love this family. But basically, I built them a new home in Willow Creek, and it was very modern gothic, kinda, because I was trying to go for something that looked like the original house while also being new. So yeah, so that was the old house, and basically they've just been, growing up. Cassandra is now a young adult. Alexander is on his way there, and they have 2 other kids who are completely adorable. And I'm hoping, maybe, I really want to try for another baby because I think Bella would really want a girl, and that would be amazing. If we have another boy, then I think that's where they're gonna stop because they already have like 4 kids. But yeah, so this house is in Windenburg, and I think that Mortimer, he's getting a little older and he's thinking about retirement. And so I think Windenburg is a nice little place for Mortimer to retire and relax. So Bella decided, we should move and do something new. And Windenburg is also, in my head, it's in between Willow Creek and San Myshuno, because Cassandra is actually going to be moving out soon. I don't know when exactly, but I believe that she will move to San Myshuno with her best friend Hannah to a nice little apartment. And I'm pretty excited about that too. Because, she's growing up and she has a boyfriend and she wants her own place. And yeah, I think that her family will help her so she's not going to be, in the worst apartment ever. But yeah, so this house, it's supposed to be industrial modern. At least that's what I was trying to go for. And I didn't record everything because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I probably spent like 4 hours on this. Well, actually more, because I went back the next day because I felt really stuck, and I even felt like I wanted to demolish the whole thing. And I was like, I don't know, the outside looks really blocky and weird, and it's not as interesting as I wanted it to be. So the next day I woke up and I was like, okay, what can I do to this house that will make it more interesting? And you'll see here in a bit, there's actually a movie theater in the front because I kind of thought it might be cool to have an in-home movie theater. And because Mortimer has done some movie screenwriting, and maybe he's really proud of that, so he wanted something to kind of commemorate his work. It was really making the front look blocky. So I ended up just knocking out the theater in the front, and it made it look a ton better. So yeah. It's on the little island in Windenburg where there's like a bunch of fancy estates, and I thought this would be a nice place because you get a really beautiful view of the ocean, and it's private, and yeah, I think this house is really perfect for where the family is right now, and yeah, it's really exciting. I think that the kids might be a little apprehensive though, because they're gonna probably have to switch schools, and but I think they're pretty excited about it. For the dining room here, I wanted it to be very grand, but very industrial and laid back at the same time. I also have a lot of build CC in this house. If you want to download this house, it is available in the gallery, but make sure you have the CC checked in the advanced settings so you'll be able to find it. My at name is IrrelephantSims. And the reason why I use so much build CC in this particular build was because I really wanted a certain aesthetic, especially with the furniture, and The Sims, I don't know, it just really wasn't doing it for me, so I had to look elsewhere. But yeah, this is, that mirror right there is CC, and so are these little vases, but that's kind of one of the things that has a mid-century vibe to it. And I think I ended up changing this bit here as well. So I basically moved the table to be not horizontal, but I made it to be vertical so it goes a long way, and I added some really amazing brick archways. And the reason why I decided not to record my edits to the house is because I still wanted to be a little bit of a surprise for you all when you see the first episode. And the first episode is just basically going to be a tour of the house all finished and done, and a few other little details that I didn't include in this video. So I wanted the entryway to be a little formal in a way, so I have these benches from the vintage glamour stuff pack. I thought they looked really cool because they kind of have an interesting detail on the bottom, and it has like a metal bottom, and I use a lot of metal items in the house just to give it that industrial feel. And this here is the kitchen, and I had a little bit of a challenge with the kitchen because it's very open, so the layout of it is, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I changed the kitchen probably 3 times. So it doesn't exactly look like this, what you're seeing now. But it's a lot better, and I promise that it's a lot better. But it's the same idea. I changed the windows, and I also changed, like, the stoves, and the fridge is now on the right, and some of the countertops are on the left. I love that light fixture that came with City Living. It's like a wall light art piece, kind of, with a bunch of pipes and everything. I thought that might be cool for the entryway, and I have that giant, beautiful painting of the city. And here I did change the cabinets to black at first, because I personally love black cabinets, but I eventually changed it back to white because I felt like it was a little too dark, and especially later because I ended up putting brick on the side walls and it was just too much. So this here is, or was, the home theater, and I thought it would be kind of cool, you know, to have popcorn machines and shelving, and I had these like little floor lights that, you know, make it look like a real theater. But like I said, I ended up just taking this out because if I'm being honest with myself, I don't think I would use this room very often. And if I did, maybe just like once. So it was just taking up space that I could have used otherwise. I mean, overall, I really liked this room, like from a look standpoint, right? I really want to build a maybe a theater one day. I did download a theater from the gallery, but I think it would be fun to do my own. So this room is the guest room, and this is where family would come over to stay and or whatever. But because Bella and Mortimer have a butler, I think this will be the butler's room. But I don't know. What I really like about most of the house is I used a lot of the white plaster as well as like the concrete flooring, but I think I did change the concrete flooring to a gray wood, so it wouldn't feel as unfinished because it is a house. It's not like a warehouse or a lofty apartment or anything. But I really liked how this guest room turned out. And I love how the bathroom turned out here. This is a guest bathroom. And I think it's the only bathroom in the downstairs area. So it's pretty spacious and it has everything you might need. Again, it's very industrial and modern. And I really like it. I haven't done a whole lot of modern industrial type builds, especially not recently because the vampire stuff pack came out like, I don't know, a week or two ago, so everyone's been on like a Victorian vintage kick, and so it's kind of nice to go back to do something a little more modern. I love these shelves in between the window and just putting a bunch of like rolled towels on the shelves because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm staying at someone's house or even at like a hotel or something like that, if there's a bunch of like fluffy white towels nicely folded, I don't know, something about it is really welcoming. So that's why I kind of wanted to include that in the guest bath. So on to the living room. Of course we had to have their giant TV in the living room. I am going to go back and add some of their family items into the build, such as their family photos, and I took a few photos of the family together when they first moved in, so I think I'm going to put that in the dining room area, because that's kind of where they had their family photos in their old house. But yeah, so this is the living room, and I love the those giant windows with like the giant door. Like, can you imagine living in a place that has windows and doors like that? Like, amazing. This rug is from the vampire stuff pack or game pack. I really liked it a lot because it looks like it's vintage, or it's been distressed to look like it's vintage. And I actually used to work at a rug company, and a lot of their rugs kind of look like that. So I thought that was kind of, fashionable to have some rugs in the house that look like they were distressed or even vintage, completely vintage. Those sofas and those chairs are custom content, and they're so amazing. I really want them to be real and in my house. And yeah, I really like how the inside came out in this house. It was very much what I imagined. This was a happy accident. I was like, oh, the railing kind of goes into the half wall, and it looks like it's part of it. And I don't know, something about it seemed really interesting because I haven't really seen that or seen anyone really do that. And yeah, I think I might do that more often because I really like the look of it, especially using the bar, like the bar railing that came with Get to Work. So this here is like a little reading nook, and I thought it might be a good idea to have something like this in the living room because it's kind of like a communal area. And yeah, I thought that would be a nice place to have an open bookshelf. And I thought this is kind of cool. If you size up a chandelier, if you have high enough wall height anyway, if you size up a chandelier and then put a little chandelier above it, it makes kind of like a layered, cool ceiling light. So yeah, I kind of like that. So up here in this little area next to the stairs, it's kind of like a landing, I guess. It's just a little seating area with the piano so Cassandra can practice or, you know, perform for the family if they want her to play or something. And this area is the backyard with the pool, and I kind of wanted to make the pool into an interesting shape. So it's kind of like a U almost, where it goes around the back end of the building, and there's a little lip to the back porch area. And at first I wanted to have Bella's yoga mat next to the water like she had it in her old house, but I ended up putting her yoga mat on her balcony because her balcony has a beautiful view to the ocean, and oh, that would be amazing to do yoga on, you know, your balcony with that type of view. So this part back here is kind of where they would entertain and have parties and all that. I did end up changing this part a little bit. I extended it because it seemed a little small, and I also put a bar here, and I think I might put the kids' play area either on the right side of the building or, well, yeah, the right side is really the only place that it would fit. But yeah, I kind of liked this shape of the backyard. It's very open, it's very large, so a lot of people can be back here, and it would be fine. So this area of the build is kind of like a mini garden, and I ended up extending the garden over to the left after I took out the home theater. So it's a lot more lush and green, and it's just nice to look at, especially if you're outside. I also changed those patio tables because it seemed kind of cramped to me for the space. So I just put a long table with some chairs, so there's no umbrellas, but that's okay. So this is Bella's little oasis when she wants to just be by herself and do her yoga routines. I also added a meditation seat for her because she's super into the wellness, not aspiration, but I don't know, she just really likes it, and it's helped her a lot when she was going through her time trying to raise Cassandra, but now that she's older, it's just become part of her life, and that's just something she really loves to do. So that's why I thought it would be a much better idea to put her yoga mat and everything on the balcony. So I wanted to do something a little different. I haven't really done this before, but I wanted to have the bed facing the window so you get this beautiful view of the ocean while you're in bed. Like, that's the dream right there. And I think I changed the bed and a few other things in their room later on, so I think it looks much better than it did here. But this is kind of the general idea of what the master bedroom looks like. So this room here is Cassandra's room, and even though she is going to be moving out soon, I still wanted her to have her own little bedroom and kind of make it her own, because maybe she's collected some things over the years, and it'll be things that she can take with her to her new apartment. And maybe Alexander can move in here, maybe the kids can move in here because their room is a little bit small, so especially for the both of them. And this elephant candle thing, I found out it looks actually really nice if you push it into like a tiny room or an inset. And yeah, it looks really nice. I also changed her bed and her some of the artwork in her room because I found some amazing CC artwork that some people converted from Society 6, and it's so cool and I love it, and I really think that Cassandra would love it as well. So yeah, that's pretty much her room. And I also wanted to include a somewhat vintage rug in her room, as well as an easel so she can paint whenever she wants to. And I'm pretty sure that her favorite color is purple, but she likes bright colors. She's an artistic sim, so that's why I wanted to put as much color as I could, but at the same time, make it to where it makes sense and not like color overload, So this room here is the boys' bedroom, and I wanted to keep with the furniture that they had in the old house, because realistically, they wouldn't necessarily get new furniture, even though almost everybody else did. But that's okay. I think they would like their beds and the way it's set up. I changed the room a little bit too because it felt a little small to me. So I extended the left part of it so that way they could have room for their little puppet theater, so that Thomas could do some shows for the both of them, since that's his favorite thing in the world. So this room here is Alexander's room, and I wanted him to have a nice big open space because I think that he would have some friends over to play video games, and I don't think Bella would necessarily want him in the living room all the time if he wanted to play games or whatever. So he has his own little entertainment center up here, as well as his gaming computer, and he has a bunch of space memorabilia. So here's his entertainment setup. He has the game system, his big TV, and yeah, he's pretty set up in there. And I think he'd really like his new room because his old room was a little small. So the room in the middle, I wanted to do something kind of different, and the space seemed really big. So to break it up a little bit, that room in the middle there is kind of like a study or a office area, but I also wanted it to still have a view of the outside, so that's why I put some windows on the left side of the study. So this is where Mortimer will work on his novels and maybe meet with clients. So that's this middle room here. It seemed a little drab, so I thought putting some yellow modern chairs in here would brighten it up a little bit and make it more fun, because I think Mortimer would have been like, oh, it's okay, you do what you want for Bella to decorate, because I'm sure she would have wanted to be like, yeah, we're gonna have yellow chairs, and he probably would have been unsure about it, but probably liked it after he saw it. That's kind of how my husband is. So yeah, this is just the bathroom that the kids share, and I think we're almost done, but I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you're as excited as I am for the new season to start. I think I'm going to not be so story driven, if that makes sense. Like, I just kind of want to play it, and as things happen, things happen. I do have a general story in mind though, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!